Verify the fit of the oxidized framework on the working model mounted in the articulator. The framework should fit without any tension. You should also check the spatial relationships in the Stratos articulator. For the wash coating, take a small amount of powder opaquer from the container. Mix the powder and the powder opaquer liquid on a mixing pad until you obtain the desired consistency. Apply a thin wash layer with a brush. This procedure allows the alloy to further degas. Place the framework on the firing tray for the first firing cycle. Fire the restoration using the preset firing parameters for the first powder opaquer firing. Before every firing cycle, make sure that the framework is properly supported on the firing tray. Clean the framework thoroughly with a steam jet and then dry it with oil-free air. This step is particularly important for the base metal frameworks. Mix another small amount of powder opaquer with the powder opaquer liquid for the second opaquer firing. Mix the material until you obtain the desired consistency. Apply the second opaquer coating in an even and covering layer. A glass or ceramic instrument is suitable for this purpose. The color of the opaquer layer can be individually adjusted with the intensive powder opaquers. Follow the same firing procedure as with the wash firing. Allow the framework to cool after firing. Then steam clean it thoroughly and dry it with oil-free air. Place the fired, cleaned, and opaquer coated framework on the model to check the accuracy of the fit. After firing, the opaquer layer should completely cover the framework, and the surface should have a silky, white matte appearance. Apply IPS margin sealer with a brush to the model in preparation for the Densizel layering procedure and let it dry. Then, apply IPS ceramic separating liquid for isolation purposes. This prevents the ceramic materials from drying out or sticking to the model. Select the IPS Inline 1 Densizel material that best matches the desired tooth shade from the shade table. Mix the powder with the buildup liquid on a mixing pad. Use a brush to apply the Densizel material on the restoration, starting with the Pontics. Place the framework on the model and build up the tooth shape with Densizel material, making sure to over-contour it slightly. The Densizel material is easy to apply, and it has a non-slump consistency. Once you have finished layering all the details, check the spatial relationships in the Stratos articulator. Make fine cuts through the interdental areas of the layering bridge with a sharp instrument. This will help to control any shrinkage of the ceramic. Carefully lift the bridge from the model. Build up the intercuspal contacts with Densizel material and compact the ceramic surface by lightly stroking it with a large, dry brush. This will prevent the ceramic from shrinking back at the cervical margin. Fire the first Densizel layer according to the prescribed firing parameters using a suitable program. Finish the fired ceramic bridge with the recommended grinding instruments and separate the bridge unit by cutting through the interdental areas with a fine diamond disc. Check the occlusal contacts and proximal surfaces on the model. Examine the spatial relationships in the Stratos articulator and make any necessary adjustments. Carefully blast the surfaces with 50 micron aluminum oxide at 1 bar pressure. Then, thoroughly clean the restoration with a steam jet. Place the bridge on the model again and check its fit. If necessary, build up any missing areas and proximal contacts with Densizel materials. Refine the cusps and edges and check them in the Stratos articulator. Remove the bridge from the model and compact the ceramic surface with light strokes using a large, dry brush. Place the bridge on the firing tray. Make sure that it is adequately supported. Fire the restoration according to the prescribed parameters in a suitable furnace, for example, the programmat. After the second incisal firing, place the bridge on the model. Separate the bridge units by cutting through the interdental areas with a diamond disc. If necessary, make grinding adjustments to create the contact surfaces and functional contacts. Finish the surfaces and grind in the growth lines. This will allow the finished restoration to scatter and reflect light naturally. Carefully blast the restoration surface again using 50 micron aluminum oxide at 1 bar pressure. Then, thoroughly clean the surface with a steam jet. Select a shade that matches the tooth color. A variety of stains is available to create individual tooth characteristics. Mix the paste with the glaze and stains liquid until you obtain the desired consistency. You can also mix different shades to produce special effects. Apply a thin coating of glaze and stains liquid on the surface with a brush, followed by the shades and stains pastes. Use the shade materials to adjust the color and the stains paste to impart any individual characteristics. Fire the stains and characterization materials according to the prescribed firing parameters and a suitable program. Glaze firing follows the stains and characterization firing. For the glaze, mix the glazing paste with the glaze and stains liquid on a mixing pad until you obtain the desired consistency. Apply a thin layer of glaze with a brush. Fire the glaze according to the prescribed firing parameters and a suitable program. Make small adjustments with the add-on material. The adjustments are fired at 690 degrees Celsius. Finally, check the individualized and characterized restoration in terms of its shade, fit, and function.